Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today it's Nintendo Switch 2 day, so we're doing a Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing. I have literally just sat down after being at work all day and then going out to the shops and getting my Nintendo Switch 2. We have the lovely Nintendo Switch launch model here with the grey Joy-Cons as a reference, because here in this box we have a Nintendo Switch 2. We also have a copy of Mario Kart World, which I will hold up to the camera like a good presenter. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at that video game. That can sit there for the moment. Now, I've not seen any unboxings or really a lot about what comes with the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's take a look at this together for the very first time. So it's just come out today, and I'm having trouble with the box because of course I am. They childproof these things. Oh, we've got instructions. When attached to the Nintendo Switch 2 console, the Joy-Con 2 controller batteries will also charge. Why did I read controller like that? Hold the button to detach, press the power button to enter or exit sleep mode. They've got nice little instructions on the case there, which are hard to read because my camera is fine at best and the lighting is not ideal for recording, but it is what it is. Alrighty. We open it straight up and we have Joy-Cons and the main device itself. Our right Joy-Con. Where's my camera? There it is. Our left Joy-Con. I like the tasteful amount of color there. As you can see from the launch model, I went with the grey one because I didn't really like the mismatched colored Joy-Cons. I'm boring. This, I think, strikes a nice balance between, boring and fun. Little splashes of color. They're very, very nice. Alrighty. So now we have the main core of the console, the screen, which is quite thick. It is thicker than I was expecting it to be. Slide her out of that bag. Ooh, she's nice. She's very nice. It's a very nice little screen. I'm not going to unplug the Switch from its Joy-Cons, but yeah, just as a... How am I going to do this without breaking either of these? So, does that accurately display how much bigger the Switch 2 is than the previous model? I think it does. There we go. Quite large. It's got an extra quarter on it lengthwise, and I'll just connect these Joy-Cons and we'll have a look at it after that point as well, and we'll see how this bad boy looks in its final form. Well, penultimate form. I guess it's final form for me as someone who doesn't really play handheld much, is going to be in the TV. So it's got these little buttons on the back of the Joy-Con, these little triggers here, which I believe push out the magnets. So let's first connection on the magnet. That's a satisfying little snap, and if you press the button, okay, so the button actually, there's this little plunger here. I don't know if you can see that. I can see that. That actually seems to push it apart, like prise the magnets. But how do magnets work? Someone get ICP on the case. And we'll get left con on. Get ready for the snap. Ooh, that is very satisfying. That's nice. It's in the hand. It is quite big. Feels nice though. Sticks feel good. Triggers feel about the same as the prior model. A little bit clicky. They're not like full, what's the word? Incremental triggers, I guess. I know there's a proper word for that. But they're very much just either you're triggering or you're not. There's no in between here. Bumpers, same thing. Very clicky, clacky. Very satisfying, very tactile. I like it a lot. And for reference with the prior model again, let's hold both of these up. and get a good look sideways in front of the camera, because I do like the little splashes of color around the analog sticks. It is very nice. Yeah, it's funny, side by side together, there is a size difference, but not as much as I would have thought. It'll be interesting to see how this feels in use. But of course, this isn't the full thing. This is just the console itself. There is also the dock. So we'll leave that bad boy there. Get back to our unboxing. Get some of this crap out of the way. Oh, we've got these instructions. Oh, we have a cable. Fantastic. We love a cable. An HDMI ultra speed cable. Safety first. Don't be flinging your Joy-Con 2s into your TV. You will piss off your parents. Or your significant other, as the case may be. Important information. Not that important. What else do we got in this bad boy? We have a dock for the Joy-Cons if you would like to use them while playing in docked mode. Like the sad puppy dog face of yore. You know the one. We all know. We all know what I'm talking about, right? Not speaking another language. We have ourselves a outlet, adapter, plug. We have a plug. And we have what I imagine is the cable to go in said adapter. Cable, love that. USB-C, USB-C, yep. USB-C, lovely. Fantastic. Don't have to be buying a bunch of new shit for all of my electronics. If USB-C is where it all stops, I don't hate it. And last but not least, the dock itself, which is actually very nice. I like this quite a lot. Gonna remove this bad boy and place him down here real quick, just so we can get a nice side by side of the two docks. Real professional like. So it's not really side by side, but that is our Nintendo Switch 2 dock. It's curved at the back, quite like that. Whereas the original, very flat, very flimsy feeling. This feels, it doesn't feel heavier. It feels largely very similar in terms of weight, but it does feel a bit more solid. This feels like, because it's got this back flap on the original, where you would have your cables and such, and you would click them in there. This one, at a glance, must still have, yep, this one does have that, but it is a case that comes off and not a little flap. So that is interesting. Fantastic. Well, I'll get this thing charged up, plugged in, and do all the boring stuff like the data transfer and installing some games, and we'll see you back here in a minute for a UI tour, and maybe we'll play some stuff. Alrighty, we have a Nintendo Switch 2 to check out. It is all set up, it is all updated, we've done our data transfers, and we're ready to go. So, full disclosure, it is a full day after I did the unboxing. I've installed some stuff, I've done my data transfer, I played a little bit of Mario Kart World, and the Nintendo Switch 2 seems pretty neat. There's a lot of stuff here. Obviously you can see that I've got games from the Switch 1 that have been transferred over. Nintendo Switch Online is still a thing. Let's see if this is going to dox me. Doesn't seem to. Fantastic. Missions, Nintendo Classics, all your GameCube, Game Boy, well, 3 GameCube games, which we will come back and have a look at later. Game Boy Advance games, N64, SNES, Game Boy NES. These were all here previously. The GameCube is the brand new hotness, such as it is. And yeah, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. But first, some interesting stuff. When you do a data transfer, your album clips and screenshots do come over, which is handy. Always good to keep your precious memories of you doing dumb shit. And usually it's Tears of the Kingdom, if I'm being honest. So that's cool. We love that. Game share, that's a new feature, but I don't really have a way to demo that right now. Virtual game cards, those are basically what it says on the tin. Like, digital games that you can share as if you are sharing game cards, as I'm led to believe. The eShop, I think, is a pretty vast improvement over the old eShop. It's now it's like built into the system. It's not just taking you to a web browser. So that's pretty cool. It loads up a little bit faster. It's like mildly more usable than the last one, which is good. And it retains my wish list. Fantastic. Good stuff, eShop. You're doing great. The new game chat feature, which I will not go into right now because it'll require me to set it up. And if memory serves, when I clicked on this yesterday, it was asking for a phone number. I'm like, I don't want to do this on video. So let's not do that. It is also worth noting that, hey, look, I can use the right Joy-Con as a mouse. I'm actually just using this on my pants. It is surprisingly accurate. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm dragging that with the right bumper. That's surprisingly accurate. Okay. And the left also works. That's cool. I was tempted to buy Civilization 7 on the Switch just so I could try out the mouse functionality. But it's one of those few games that doesn't even get a game key. It's just a digital it's a code for a digital download in a box. Which sounds crazy, and I would never usually buy that. But it costs about 110 Australian dollars on the eShop, and you can get the digital code in a box from JB Hi-Fi for like 80 bucks. Video games are wild, and their pricing is stupid. Capitalism was a mistake. Let's play some Mario Kart World. Oh, actually, no, before I do that, I do need to point out one very important thing. When you data transfer, the Switch 2 will adopt the display settings of your original Switch, specifically the themes. Because, of course, we have Basic Black and Absolute Psychopath. So, starts off as white, and then you do the data transfer, and it'll put it to black like a sane, rational human being. We love that. So yeah, let's take a look at some Mario Kart World. Probably not too much of it. Maybe do a race or two. Maybe check out the open world. And then we might mess around with some GameCube stuff. And that'll be a bit of a Switch 2 intro tour after our totally professional unboxing. This is also a good chance to check out the load times from the start screen. Like, it's hard to judge them fairly, I think, coming from the Xbox Series X and from the PlayStation 5, because they are longer. I'd be kidding myself if I said they weren't longer, but they're not too bad. As you can see, my boy Wario rocking the biker outfit, one that I've found out in the open world, which, hey, you can do just by pressing the plus button, or the start button, whatever you want to call it, and we're just straight in there. That's pretty cool. What happens if I pick this up? So these fast food bags are... Hey, is that taiyaki? That's super cool. I went to Japan for my honeymoon and we got taiyaki and it was delicious. Anyway, you eat these foods and they serve as a speed boost, but also they give you a new outfit. So now Work Crew Wario is just available to players, which I think is pretty neat. Overall, I'm not a massive Mario Kart guy. Like, if I'm being entirely honest, up front, I'm not the biggest Mario Kart fan. If I'm playing a kart racer, I'm playing Crash Team Racing. That said, Mario Kart has always done a few things really, really well, and it's mostly like presentation. It does theming really well, it does presentation really well. The game looks fantastic. It's very, very crisp. It's very colorful, very vibrant. You get cool little Mario analogs of real-world stuff. You get little hitchhikers on the side of the road. There's like cop toads and their little police cruisers. What are these Yoshi chips? Do they change me into something else? Or no, because I'm already in a costume, they give me like a costume. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, it's just... As an experience, I think Mario Kart World is very neat. As someone who's not really that into Mario Kart in general, I still think it's worth a look. Especially since it is kind of the only thing out for the Switch 2 right now. Let's grab this, see if it gives me a new costume. Hopefully it does. Ice Cream! Oh, Wicked Wasp! Okay, so I get a stupid Bumblebee Wario. That's great. Okay, you know what? I was mistaken. I was wrong. This game's great. Now, the game does feature some new mechanics, some wall riding, some grinding. I've found it pretty intuitive most of the time, and then whenever I try to do it, I just tend to mess it up. Ooh, this P-switch over here, this is indicative of a challenge that you can do out in the open world. Oh, this is super cool. The ones I've usually found are like arcade-style gate races, where you've got to get, you know, a number of laps done with a certain amount of gates passed, or like you've got a time trial. Okay, well, we just got to go through. Am I going to actually hit anything with any of these weapons? Maybe. There we go. We're doing it. Oh, can I just brute force my way through? No, I can't. But most of them will let you retry pretty quickly, so that's pretty handy. We'll give that one another go, and then we'll maybe do some races. Yeah, so one I did was like a arcade-style time gate race, where going through gates increases the time you have on your timer, and you have to get a certain number of laps done, which is pretty neat. I'm not used to this Hammer Bro weapon. I almost feel like I just have to spam the thing and hope for the best. Almost got there, and I didn't even do it very well. But that's fine. That's the kind of thing that you can expect in the open world here. There's some collectibles, there's, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, I could probably show you the grinding on this little thing over here. Oh, I jumped off immediately. Good stuff, Josh. Oh, you're so good at video games. Yeah. Great. Oh, I actually almost have all of Wario's costumes. That's exciting. I'll be able to start on someone new. Anyway, go up here. Yeah, hit a sit grind, and then you can do tricks and jump off for a boost. It's pretty cool. And, you know, during races, I found the opportunities to do them are a bit more readily available and a little bit more intuitive to just jump into. And, yeah, so, with that said, let's quit free roam and let's have a look at just a little sneak peek at a Grand Prix. I have done a couple of them. This is the main way that you unlock characters, apart from, obviously, finding outfits out in the open world. Some of the outfits are fantastic. I really do like them a lot. Like, that's great. This is great. Can you tell I like Wario? I think this one might be my favorite. It's a bit boring, but he does have a stupid little ponytail, which makes him even more like me. But, oh, and I've unlocked Donkey Kong. And since we're doing a Nintendo Switch 2, you know, just the tip of Nintendo Switch 2, we may as well show Donkey Kong's new design in his first ever outing. Let's have a look at that. Let's have him drive something stupid. That looks like a banana, kind of. Did he just dab? Dabby Kong? So I've done these two Grand Prix so far. We'll dip our toes into this one, just to show you the basic concept. So, jumping into these races for the first time, I have no idea what these tracks are like. It's going to be very exciting. And, appropriately, we're playing Donkey Kong on DK Pass. Now, the way these work is similar to previous iterations of Mario Kart. You've got 4 races, but they are different in one very specific way. And this preview is kind of showing us this preview is showing us the tracks that we're about to visit, but it's not showing us the interesting thing, which will happen between tracks 1 and 2 and tracks 2 and 3. And that's, while you start the race with a 3-lap race of a single track, race 2 is a race to the track and then 1 lap of that track. It's pretty cool. I actually quite like it. But yeah, let's race some karts. I don't know if Mario Kart has like weight differences. I know they used to. Well, I'm doing very good. I'm gonna blame this on the talking because you can't really. Well, I can't really focus on talking and racing at the same time. But I'm gonna try my damn best. Previous iterations of Mario Kart and also other kart races have had weight differences for different, you know, characters and different karts. And I'm not sure if that's present here. I genuinely could not tell you. Oh my god, I'm giant. That's a big Donkey Kong. That is taking up so much of the screen. So you've still got your slides, you've still got your jump boosts, you've still got your weapons. Like, this is... I would be lying if I said this was anything other than, you know, Mario Kart. And I think people would be disappointed if it was anything other than Mario Kart. Oh. Well, that was a close one. Nice little onomatopoeia as the big kaboom happens. Oh, yeah. Drift that shit. Yeah, we're doing it. Dab on him, Donkey Kong. Let him know. Stunt on these hoes. Fuck you, DK. Oh no! I was then gotten. I got. Someone help. Let's see if we can grind off this. Yeah! I don't know what Boo does. He makes me invisible? Maybe invincible. Okay, Donkey Kong dabbing is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm usually not one for the popular thing that the kids are doing, but it is quite funny. It is a good animation. Oh, you piece of shit, Bowser. This is why no one likes you, Bowser. Because you bully me specifically. You know, considering my lackluster performance, you know, first is right there. We do be right there. Oh, you bastard. Oh yeah, give me the most useless fucking thing right then and there. Love that. I tend to have terrible luck in this game when it comes to power-ups. You know what? Settle for third. Third's not terrible. But yeah, I tend to have terrible luck when it comes to power-ups in this game. I just get the most useless shit all the time. Which I guess speaks to the fact that I'm, like, usually near the front, I guess. You tend to get better stuff at the back, right? That's how this works. Anyway, the actual interesting thing with how Mario Kart works. We're now driving from the first track to the second track, and that's, like, gonna comprise the first half of the race, pretty much. Which I think is pretty neat. And I cannot for the life of me master the boost. I got it that time, though. Wonders will never cease. Let's go. Still not sure what invisibility is supposed to do for me. Oh, I think he steals a power from someone else. That's pretty good. I don't hate that. I do love dicking over other people. Such is my nature as a Wario main. Oh, I saw a costume and I didn't get it. Damn, well, come back for that next time. Again, not a huge Mario Kart guy, so I don't know how much playability or replayability I'm going to get out of this. But I'd like to get all the characters and all the costumes, and I feel like this at least has a bit more replay value, for me at least, as a solo player, than something like Mario Kart 8 did, because that didn't really have unlockables, as I recall. Like, you could unlock the karts, but I also didn't care for many of the karts. I don't know. Could just be that I'm boring as fuck. But, yeah. My kart racer of choice is Crash Team Racing. I'm not going to deny it. Why would I ever deny it? This game looks good. Sometimes I just get caught up in how good the game looks. I won't lie. And I hope that's being picked up on the actual recording of this. Sometimes these things don't translate to YouTube. But, it's a very nice looking game. Oh, you piece of shit, Rosalina. Anyway, we're up to our final lap now, and we're actually on the race course itself. No! Oh, I thought I had her. Yeah, dab on him, DK. You can do it. We can do it, donkey. Not with the banana, we can't. Ooh, this is a gorgeous track. My god. The artists were arting here. God damn. Actually stunning. No! Oh, I feel like it's always... I feel like it's always the lightning bolt that gets me too. Oh, someone's gonna hit me right at the end. No, don't you do it, you piece of shit! Oh, I didn't actually notice the snow. That's cute. What a nice little detail. Okay. I'll come back and do this on my own time. Seek vengeance and such. But that's Mario Kart World. That's the general gist. There's some other new stuff. There is the Knockout Tour, which has sort of a... If you've ever played a knockout race from... Oh, sweet, new vehicle. If you ever played a knockout race from the Forza games, I think it's similar to that, where you basically just have to stay above a certain place in the races from race to race, and, you know, person in last or however many back gets eliminated, and eventually you have a winner. Time trials versus battle mode. All that stuff is pretty standard, I feel. But as far as Mario Karts go, she's not bad. Now let us take a look at some GameCube classics. Now, we've done some racing. We don't really need to see more racing. But what we could do is a round of Soul Calibur 2. I'm down for that. Hope everyone else is down for that. It's going to be bad, because I can't remember the last time I actually played I can't remember the last time I played Soul Calibur, let alone Soul Calibur 2. She's been a while. Probably since I owned a GameCube. Which, like I said, was a while ago. We'll just do a arcade match. And it wouldn't be Soul Calibur for the GameCube if we didn't play as Link. I think, at least. Gotta play as the boy. I fucking love the Soul Calibur announcer. He's so extra. Oh, Tonfa. An interesting choice. Let's fucking go. And I missed. Uh-oh. Now, this is the one with the ring outs and shit. Oh. Oh, she fast. Kick her! Kick her right in the vagina. She never see it coming. Oh god. Nope. Nuh-uh. No, no wind. What are you, a fucking, Planeteer? Wind! Uh-oh. Kick her right in the face! Fucking Triforce of boot to the face, bitch. Hell yeah. You do it, fairy boy. Okay, let's actually get some... Let's get some tech in this bitch. Okay. High-low, we like it. Go for the cross-up. Or the switch-up. Ah! It is also funny because I tend to forget that, Nope! No wind! Grab, bitch! I also forget that this game has, like, a dedicated block button. Yeah! Always win with the kick. Stunt on him, Link. Yeah, this plays well. It plays as I remember it, which, granted, is not very well, because this was like 20 years ago that I last played Soul Calibur 2. Let's get out of here. We don't need to create a suspend point. I'll be back, but probably not to that specifically. And yeah, that's the Switch 2. First impressions are strong. It is a nice little console. Games look nice, they load fairly fast. The Joy-Cons are comfortable. I'd like to get a Pro Controller at some point soon, because I am a professional. And with big hands, like even these size Joy-Cons are still a little small for my liking, but they are much better than the last ones, I will admit that. And yeah, I'd like to check out some older stuff that's been updated. I want to check out some new stuff. I can't wait for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think that's when the console hype is really going to kick in. But for now, I think the Switch 2 has a lot of promise. So, yeah. If you guys are out there playing the Switch 2, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to have some discussions about this. And if you don't have a Switch 2, are you going to get one? Is Mario Kart World enough for you to sort of invest in that? Or are you waiting until something like Pokemon ZA or Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out? Let me know, and I will see you hopefully soon with something. And if not, I promise nothing. Take care. Bye-bye.